Hello there, chocolate dip strawberries. We have a question here. I think it's very important. I'd like to teach you something. So, hey, could you make a tutorial on how to browse the Explorer and verify contracts? Look at whale addresses. And I am going to show you something. So the first thing we're going to do, okay, the first question is how to browse the Explorer just to verify contract addresses. I don't recommend you have a look on the Explorer itself. And by the way, the second question is going to be looking at whale addresses. I'm going to show you how to use Dex Screener because the method we have right now, the Pulse Chain Block Explorer and Etherscan, it's not that user-friendly at all. And you only get to look at things when they really come to spotlight and somebody else shares. Having a look at them yourself, you get no edge. You are just digging and digging and digging. There's no information. There are websites like Nansen. I think you want to pay like $2,000 a year and it will like try to filter different addresses and wallets. But I can tell you right now, a lot of these people, they fluke it. So they're either yield farming or they will do good for like a period of time. Like I know that a lot of people did well in 2020 and then they just got obliterated in 2021. They missed every single big narrative. They didn't know what they were doing and they just take losses. And yeah, so it's not that crispy clean. But what you'd have to do when you're looking at, say, Pulse Chain, for example, I'm going to use Pulse Chain as an example here. If you're looking at any contract, any address, the first thing your friends got to do is you got to make sure you're actually on the correct address because there are so many scams and honeypots, for example. So I'm just going to pick one here. So Shishka. Probably some doggy coin or something, Shishka, right? Obviously, very, very dangerous. So when you're on this is dexscreener.com, right? dexscreener.com/pulse chain. You should always, as soon as you go in, if you say, hey, I want to trade this chart, you know, there are people in this chart, I want to trade it. What you have to do is you go to the right-hand column here. You see this right-hand column and scroll all the way down and have a look at this. This is the information you need. You see how there's the addresses here for the pair, for Shishka, and then the other thing it's paired for, Wrapped Pulse. You want to click on Shishka itself. Now that you have Shishka, you've clicked on it, you have its address, you can then go to pulsex.com, or if you wanted to use Uniswap, this is if you're on the Ethereum chain, okay, it works for everything. And in the second field, you can just copy paste it. All right, and what you want to do is see Shishka, okay? So what you'll be able to do is just import it. I understand. Yes, everything's a fake scam. We understand it. And now you have the verifiable real one. This is how you can actually check it as to one you're trading. And this is super important because on pulsex.com, on Pulse Chain and all these other new coins that are coming, people are hungry for new innovative dexes. And I use the word innovative as tongue-in-cheek, but everyone's coming for new things. If you just go to Coingecko, these websites, CoinMarketCap, Coingecko, they don't have all the fast new coins coming up all the time. But I'm sure if we just type in Shishka, for example, it's not even here. Like, oh, wow. Like, see, it's crazy. They have Shishka's liquidity pool, but they don't have it listed here. So you can see how you can identify super new fast things that come. This is what happens. Of course, if you wanted to find, for example, let's go to PulseX. This is another thing you should definitely know. If something is listed, and you want to triple check that you are in the correct address, you go to their website in contract here, up here, the top right. CoinMarketCap.com also has a similar one. It's just in a bit of a different section. So you can click on it and then it will copy it here for you. And now you can copy paste it everywhere and you get the proper address. If you paste it, wow, it's recognized it already. But now we can have a look at maybe some big whale buys and sells. So I don't recommend going to the blockchain. You will spend hours and hours and you're not going to see anything, friends. Just to let you know. So this is like, you're going to have to just accept this into your heart. Big whales can get things wrong. Very frequent. It happens. I've seen guys clip giant size at the tops of big ranges and get destroyed. We even saw this with Pepe. With Pepe, some dude bought 440 Ethereum worth of Pepe at the top. He was bidding it at the top. He got filled, and then it went down 30% against him straight away. So it doesn't matter, right? Just because they have big size doesn't mean they're necessarily winning in that trade per se, all right? But what we can do is, if we just go to Pulse, we can have a cute look at Pulse here. I've clicked on Pulse, And you see on Dex Screener, so on dexscreener.com, if you go down here, I recommend just moving it up. And now you can play with the filters. So you can see these columns here in the filter. So one option you could do is you go to USD, for example. Like if I want to know who's been buying Pulse Chain, for example, right? PLS. So I will just sort it by buy only type and then USD. And I want to say, hey, don't show me anybody less than $10,000. All right, I want to know someone who's big. And if you press on apply, we have all the buys of $10,000. Just to let you know though, this will eventually include arbitrages, market maker, MEV scum, those subhuman filth. Unfortunately, those cockroaches, they're going to be included in there because they're scalping a bit, but it is what it is, right? So there's not going to be any names and labels. This is what we have to do. So you can have a look at this, and now you can at least filter by the USD transaction. Also, it's important, if people are ratio trading, it will pop up as well. So you don't actually see someone putting in the new fresh money necessarily, I think. If anybody knows a specific way just to see who bought in with new money, please let me know. But this is one way to have a look at it. And now we can have a view with somebody who's been who's entering the market here. Now, if you go to the right-hand side, you can see the transaction, right? You can see the maker as well. So the maker is who is trading with. So you can actually click on the transaction and we can see. So we can see the maker. Remember, the maker, for example, let's just go to this person here who did around $20,000 clip, 20,000 DAI, and we just click on it and we'll see what's in here, and it should take us to the Explorer itself. So you might be able to have a bit of a perv with or without their consent. You can have a look at their wallet themselves. So here we are waiting for Pulse Chain, the wallet to load. And I had to click, friends. It was doing this weird thing. I just had to click and refresh the page. And what I've done is I've gone to tokens here. So as a very quick search, if you go here, see tokens, it's got a very quick search tokens. You can click here and just see what's in there, but it's a bit hard to see. You can have a quick look at the numbers. But if you click on the actual tokens tab, you can have a look at their balance and what's in here. So this person bought, they have 673 million PulseX. They have a bit of this Sci-Vive, probably the Richard Hart meme. They have a tiny bit of WETH. And have Minerium, only 32 tokens. So there's cute stuff. You're going to see a lot of spam and stuff. So with Etherscan, they'll eventually have USD value, which makes it easier because the spammers only send you like very micro transaction value spam address tokens to your account, and it will make everything look disgusting. But if you sort it by USD value, you'll be able to see. So if we go back, we can see this dude, you know, bought 20,000 of DAI. But it says it's gone into PLS. So maybe he bought and he sold, he did something, maybe some yield farming, okay? So we can actually have a look at, if we just scroll down, we're going to have a look at the biggest clips of all. So I have one guy here, bought 41,000 here. So I'm having a look, and we can just click on the maker as well. So this is sometimes what you can do, just have a look at big accounts, and you can see what did somebody with a giant clip size do, what were they looking at. So I've clicked on here, he's got nothing in here as well, just 26,800 pulse. So you'll see people, they're moving in and out of these things. They might send to other wallets. They might move it across. They're doing yield farming. They've placed it in places. So this is one thing that you're just going to have to get used to, because a lot of people are yield farming as well. So they won't necessarily be, you won't be seeing any just tokens doing nothing in the wallet per se. So this person has 26,800 pulse in there. So I'm not sure if you should be able to see the PLP tokens, but if you don't remember, the PLP token will be the yield farm token that you're getting. So that's just one thing to take a look at. And so I'll be honest, friends, I wouldn't waste too much time doing this, because this is just something I will look at once it's getting a bit active. I just got a feel for, oh, I heard somebody did a big clip here and there, you know, because at the end of the day, a lot of these things, friends, they don't really, there's no edge here. I know you want edge. You want to know, oh, who's this big person buying? What are they doing? You know, there's a lot of filtering, a lot of other stuff to do. Like this person, for example, two $88,000 clips from here, two $88,000 clips. We can go and just have a look and see what they did here. And I've just opened it up, and you can see here his balance. He has 850 million pulse. So he's gone and done these clips. And what I did was as well, if you go through, I clicked on the transaction. So here the TXN, so you can actually see the transaction itself. I did this, and you can see that he went from the PulseX LP to the router, and he bought Pulse. So he's buying it, buying Pulse and just increasing his position. And you can just have a look at different things like this. But I just want to stress to you, your secret juice, the friendship and the kindness is not buried in watching these people, friends. I'll tell you right now, there are clip sizes here. You'll look at them and be like, wow, this guy's gonna kill it. And then I will because I have the benefit of Twitter and I'm here active all the time. And then I'll go back and I'll check someone's wallet later on. And I mean 6 months later, 9 months later. And I'm like, oh, what happened to 70% of their position? And you find out they were DCA selling along the way. So if you want to know exactly what I'm talking about, I'll show you right now. So I've brought up the Hex chart. Remember, this is, if you want to have a look at it, it's uniswap.hex.vision to see the full chart. You type in Hex in here and you'll be able to see the absolute full chart. So I remember from 2022, there were people and they were, they were long from here in the Hex chart. And what happened was, so let's put on a regular chart so we can actually see what it looks like. When it started going up, so I made a lot of posts. I saw a lot of people, they had 10, 20, 30 million Hex. They'd accumulated a lot. I thought, wow, this person's going to hold all the way. What ends up happening is they just start selling here and here and here. And then it goes up and they start selling at 4 cents, 4.5, 5. They just start selling everywhere. They just start clobbering it down. They just keep DCAing. They just kept clipping out, right? Now, of course, with the benefit of hindsight, you'll turn to the right and go, oh, wow, they did the smart thing. They are smart. But I'll tell you one thing. These whales and all these people doing these, they always end up getting it regrettably wrong. Because when the real move comes, remember the Wall Street cheat sheet? Remember, friend? I have it here for you. The Wall Street cheat sheet, okay? Do you see this part on the right-hand side here? What does this say? It says disbelief. This is a sucker's rally. So I've been in the game long enough, and when I was a wee little pup, I used to be so envious when I would hear of people holding gargantuanly long durations of time in their investments. I was like, whoa, because I was a day trader. I'm a scalper. I'm like, how the hell can you hold longer than 4 minutes? 50 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day, what the hell? And then I would hear of people holding and it would go up and then retrace and then go up. And this was pre-crypto. So you can imagine what I thought when I saw of this hodl meme of crypto and how far Bitcoin and Ethereum were running, right? So let me tell you right now, markets and our emotions, especially in crypto, they go off these human emotions. And disbelief is how it all starts. This is why you get rewarded with blind faith. You see, when no one believes it, even you get rewarded in this part. This is how it all starts. Everything starts with the disbelief rally. It means you're questioning reality itself. You're saying, I can't believe you are going up when there's no good news. Why are you going up? So we go up first, and then we have the hope and more disbelief rinse outs, but you're not going to get in. You've anchored yourself to this bottom. So for example, right, before this crash, for example, okay, let's say before this crash, before Hex did the split, 2.1 cents, all right? So let's imagine it was any other coin and we're looking at it here. Let's say we didn't get scammed with the Pulse chain launch and everything, right? And everything collapsed. Let's say Hex was about the 5 cents here, okay? So we're looking at, let's say this is zone 5 cents here. They do not get back their position because we just spent a whole year, right? And they remember 1.8 cents. This was pre-split. They remember 1.8 cents. They remember 2.5 cents. Okay? So when they see the price of 10 cents, they're like, I'm not buying. That's terrible. It's just 2 cents, man. I'm not touching it. And then it comes back to 5. And then it might go back up to, now of course we went down and we got scammed, but it might go back up to 8 or 9 cents. And they don't have their full position. This is 98% of people, 98%. Only the 1 in 20 people will say, okay, I'm actually wrong. I've got to get back in. Things have changed. 1 in 20 people do that, okay? But 19 out of 20 people move on to something else. They'll look for something else new. And then unfortunately, because you're constantly looking for something else new, you constantly expose yourself to the new disappointment and the new letdown. And then you wish you just held the original thing from the start. So you can see now, if Hex didn't scam us down and actually went up to like 9 or 10 cents and we're sitting here, which I think we should be there, to be honest. If we were sitting around there, then you'd have a look at that and you'd be like, oh my God, this whale, this person who I was tracking on chain, who was accumulating and did all this DCAing that I watched from Deck Screener, they don't have their position anymore, right? So now you see why. If you follow my Twitter, I make a lot of these posts and I go through sometimes finding these people, okay, when there's something interesting that comes along, okay? So for now, at least you've learned something. You get to now see that, hey, come and play with the filter, try to look for the biggest account size, the wallet size. You know, you might even spend a day here. You might even say, hey, I literally want everybody above $30,000, right, as a clip size. And all you'd have to do is maybe $30,000 and you just hold control on your keyboard and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you just literally open all of them up, friend. And then you have a look. See, I've just broken my, my browser. But you can just have a look at through all their inventories and you'd be able to just see, is there anybody with like any more stable coins sitting there? Because that's really what you want at the end of the day. Is there anybody there with like, you know, a giant pool of stable coins accumulating? And then you might find something. And funny enough, I have broken my computer, but that's the wonderful life of crypto. Just like the markets break, friends, you can't rely on anything. Tell mum and dad we still love them. Like, subscribe, press the bell button and all. I will catch you in the next one.